See your weapon trader for the Ultra-Perforator.
Well, hello, this is Jeff of Tauflader Mouse. Today we have a beautiful and yet complicated slug that called the SSP-1BG, or Super Shock Penetrator Big Game. That's easy to remember. This experimental slug is made out of 4 different metals. The outside is made out of aluminum, often called aluminium in certain prefectures of Europe. But it also has a copper sleeve on the inside, a brass sleeve, and a hardened steel penetrator core with a Rockwell hardness of 62. On each side of the slug we have these slots milled in there. Are those for stability, for better penetration? Well, we'll find out. This is definitely a beautiful slug, and we've never had a slug that was made out of 4 different metals like that before. The slug was made to the exact specification of the outside diameter of 0.675, so that means they are a sub-caliber projectile requiring a sabot to function properly. Now this sabot is made out of a Winchester shotgun hole. It looks like it fits, but when we try to size it through this rifled choke, you'll see that it isn't quite tight enough. We can just push it through there with our finger. We need a much tighter fit than that. And if the sabots are a little bit loose like this, you get what's called sabot slip. The rifle engages the sabot, but it doesn't grip tight enough to transfer the spin to the slug. Now this federal target hole is a few thousandths of an inch thicker than the Winchester. We now have a very tight interference fit. It's so tight, in fact, that you would need a hammer and a rod to drive it through there. But that's what you need to reduce the chance of sabot slip. We'll be using an FS12 gas seal, a nitro card placed on top of that just because. Don't really need it, but it's there. And then our sabots, which are now split, go around that. We'll be using 40 grains of long shot powder, which is a pretty hefty load for a 1 ounce projectile. Using this powder load, we should get velocities well above 1700 feet per second. All those components fit easily into a 2 3/4 inch hole. I've roll crimped them. Nothing left now but to take them out and see how they perform.
Welcome back, Tauflader folks. Officer Greg and Jeff behind the camera, bringing you a kind of a cool contraption today, or a cool round sent to us by an anonymous viewer from Wales. Now this anonymous viewer has contributed shells before under a name, but now he wants to be anonymous, so we are going to introduce him as Mr. Anonymous, Al Anonymous, and he sent us this very cool 4 metal, it's called the Super Shock Penetrator Big Game, or what he calls the SSP-1BG.
That sounds like some kind of ammo from like Winchester or something. Like,
Jeff, this thing's got more metal in it than an AC/DC concert. You're gonna have to explain to us. It's an aluminum round with a brass and copper core, right? Or brass and copper plug, and a steel core.
it's a super hardened steel core that we're hoping that'll penetrate an AR-500 plate.
Well, that's why it's blue. It's hard and it'll penetrate. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're gonna give it a try. Jeff's already explained it to you on a tabletop now.
Well, you got to say it twice because people skip over it, and then it gives them something to comment about. You know, why'd you say everything twice?
Yeah.
Well, I got you to comment, huh?
They fast forward until they see the clown standing out there holding a shotgun.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
then they start listening. So
yeah.
Anyway, enough clowning around. We're going to put this first through Jeff's Benelli, and Jeff's Benelli has a rifled choke on it, so it's just going to give it a spin on the way out the muzzle, and then we're going to try it through a Remington 870 that's got a fully rifled barrel.
What?
So,
shotguns have rifling?
Can you believe it? And it's not a rifle? Doesn't that turn it into a rifle, Jeff?
Isn't it like a AOE or AOW or
AOC, COE? Anyway, we're going to try it through the choke and then the full rifling, just to see if we can get any different kind of spins on it and see how stable it is. We predict these things are going to fly pretty stable because they are rifled, or because they are spun on the way out. Brandon's waiting for us downrange. We don't have any worries that it's going to penetrate Brandon, but we're going to try some harder targets here for you in a minute. See what they do. Let's get to it. Yeah, we're going to fire it over the chronographer. So we get a speed.
Okay, I'm ready, I guess.
Here we go. I'm aiming at the aim here hole.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow. Got an error on the chronograph.
That had some recoil.
That sounded like a cannon going off.
Oh,
wow. My curiosity has been satisfied. It looked like that thing was not, it was spinning, but not enough to stabilize it.
So was it flopping all around?
It certainly was. It was somewhat accurate, though.
You have a high-speed camera. I have slow-speed eyes.
Right.
I couldn't see anything. It was invisible.
I just know you hit it initially. Okay, so what happened?
Well, this is the hole I was aiming for. Evidently, it hit up high because this was an undisturbed piece of t-shirt. Hey, by the way, why does Brandon look like he was at a Elton John dance party? Look at that white stuff under his nose, Jeff.
I haven't cleaned that off.
What have you been doing on the weekends? I'm going to pull this shirt up here.
I don't think we got super perforation on that one.
No, we didn't. Oh, well, look at this.
Did you find it?
Boy, did I. It's shiny. Hey,
oh, it's really shiny. He polished them like a,
wow. Yeah,
like a jewel.
It's still hot.
Okay.
It collapsed it just a little bit. You can see it's not true round.
I felt kind of bad for kind of wasting that round out of this rifle choke, but that tells you, you know.
Well, we always start with Brandon.
Yeah.
Look at that. Copper slot. See, I haven't seen this round before.
That's right. Yeah, you haven't.
I haven't seen this. You guys get to see all the cool stuff.
And he has no plans on selling these, of course.
Well, that is a shiny, shiny aluminum case.
Yeah.
So it because I guess it was wobbling, it did not super penetrate or perforate.
Yes.
It burrowed itself in there sideways. Therefore, of course, we're not going to see any new holes on Brandon's back. Those were already.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, we're done with the rifle choke then.
Let's try and perforate something a little harder.
Yeah, that was a lot of power though. We didn't get a chrono reading yet. We'll eventually get one.
Oh, we got one. It just said error.
Oh, yeah.
Which tends to be that's the same speed that most of our rounds fly at. All right. Let's try one of them through the fully rifled barrel. See if we can't get a good chronographer reading and try everyone's favorite, the lead plate, which is newly minted, Jeff.
Yeah, I had to go buy 5 gallons of propane, and then my torch, the one that Danny gave me, the weed burner thing, it had like 2 or 3 holes in the hose, and I'm lucky I didn't burn myself to death.
Huh. Well, you know the Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Oh, okay.
All right, ears first.
You know what time it is, Greg?
I don't know what time it is, Jeff.
It's time to get the lead out.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. It's never gonna work.
We all became dumber because of it. All right, downrange at the star that has the circle around it, the lower star.
Yep, the thickest part of the plate. Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Negative.
Something moved.
Yeah.
In our second shot using full rifling, we should have much more spin. When we do have a little bit of spin, but it's not much. It appears we have what I feared, that sabot slip. And it was so bad that it actually really screwed up the accuracy. Let's try another shot and see if we can get better results.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. See, that one I know I pulled direct on.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying that I know the pull was solid on that one.
Oh, okay.
In shot number 3, again we have a little bit of a spin, but just not enough to stabilize that projectile. And I'm starting to kind of freak out because I realize how much time and expense went into making these things, and we're just kind of wasting them. And the only person to blame at this point is me with my load recipe.
Okay, we're a little closer now.
Here we go at the star with a circle. That one hit.
Okay. Still no chrono reading.
That one hit.
Well, this is just getting ridiculous now. They say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And with the, using the exact same powder recipe, the same precise slug, the results are exactly the same.
Okay, I'm ready.
There must be something. Here we go. AR 500 steel. Seems like we got an impact.
Now, we usually have at least one failure in a video, but not this many in a row. But at least this one, the slug did happen to hit nose first on our AR 500 plate.
Okay, well, it wasn't accurate. It's definitely, we got some problems with these things, and It's those sabots, or
Clearly not accurate, but it did hit nose first.
I think it did.
Yeah, you can see, well, first of all, it cut a nice circle in there, indicating it was either nose first or butt first, because if it was to hit sideways, you'd have a long...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good...
And then if you look in that hole there, there is a little bit of, there's a brass ring and a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it a steel mark, but indicating that the nose did hit there. It did not make it through the AR500 steel plate. So.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Oh.
Okay, shot number 6. Another unstable projectile, but at least a pretty decent impact. This is not what we set out to do. This is not what the creator of these slugs wanted us to do. And we started looking around the ground. We found some of the sabots, and it's an important clue here. You can see how really melted and mangled up they are. Now, we have used these types of sabots before with excellent results. So I'm starting to think that I just loaded these things way too hot. And the option was to just stop shooting, go home, reload all these things with a lighter powder load. Or we could try, just see what would happen to do a little field modification here. Reduce the powder load by about 25%, get it down to about 30 grains of long shot. Now, if we had stopped production at this point, it might be a couple weeks until the weather is good enough where it's below 100 degrees to go out and film before we could come out and film these remaining 4 shells. So let's see if this simple field modification actually fixes our problem.
Okay,
Okay, so in case you don't get to see the process, this has been reduced by 25%?
about, yeah, just by eye. It's not the most scientific measure.
In doing that ditch bank surgery, we had to remove the crimping, so we're going to very carefully place it in the shotgun.
I don't know if it's going to even work, but we'll try.
When you are ready.
Very, very discouraging. Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Noticeably less recoil.
Yeah.
And just like that, we now have perfect stability. And it's an important lesson to me. It is very possible to try to push a slug too hard, too fast, and end up screwing everything up.
I hope you were able to see a little snippet of Jeff's ditch bank shotgun shell surgery, because we were able to cut open the round, take all the components out. He very scientifically poured out about 1/4 of the amount of powder, because we were kind of theorizing that these things were going too hot.
Yeah.
Jeff says
it is possible to push them too hard, and we kind of proved that.
And when you're pushing too hard, it's time to back them off a little bit. So we poured out 1/4 of the powder, rebuilt the shell. Look at that. Not only did we hit the plate this time, finally.
Wait, what do you have there?
Oh, so first thing I found underneath the table was the little aluminum capsule, the little cup or something. So item number 1, first of all, the fact that we captured this is a big improvement. But look here at the lead plate. We plowed into the lead plate not too far away from where the intended point of aim was. You can see the big copper, I don't know what that is, the copper core.
I don't know.
It's not really the core, it's just another...
It's a part of the core.
It's a copper and brass plug of some sort that is holding the core. But get this, this is what's cool. This was a brand new lead plate minutes ago. That is a steel core exiting out the back.
Finally, something happened that we were hoping for.
Finally.
So we had core penetration with that hardened steel penetrator core.
Because the round worked.
Because it flew straight.
So it was over gassed. It was too hot.
Yeah,
it was 93 octane.
I was thinking, no problem, get these things up to 1,700 plus feet per second.
Well, you loaded 700 grains of Chernobyl 500 in there, didn't you?
40 grains of long shot was too much for this 1 ounce load. For this one. But
I'm really hoping you guys can see the little tabletop surgery, because that's fascinating.
Now I got to do it to the last 3 of them. We got to get a gel shot.
Yeah. So
We got to get the gel shot.
that was through full rifling. So let's go back and doctor up the last 3 and see if we can't get those 3. Anonymous guy from Wales. That was the key. It wasn't necessarily your rounds.
I knew it was me. I knew it was me. It was my load. You know.
That's how much ass we put behind
There's
it.
nothing you could have done to make it the round.
Sure there is. I could have pulled the trigger straighter.
Oh, okay.
Come on, we all know that. All right, surgery time.
What's next? Maybe we got the right powder recipe now.
We doctored up the final 3, so hopefully we've got 4 working projectiles that'll work. We put the hydromelon out here with a piece of vest behind it, so the anonymous donor thinks that this thing will, when it hits fluid, will peel back kind of like a hollow point slug. So we put a soft body armor panel behind it.
We might want to tuck it under there just so it doesn't slip. You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go.
See if we can't catch it, and then of course to prevent skin cancer, we've given hydromelon. It's not going to hold.
Okay.
We've given a
we'll figure something out.
hydromelon a little cap here, but let's go ahead and put it around in there and see if we can get it.
Yeah, I want to see if they'll expand. Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go on the nose. Wow. Wow.
Now Greg used the same exact point of aim, and again the slug went a little bit to the left, which is a good thing because now we have stability and consistency. Now that was the biggest melon I could find at the store, and it really disassembled that thing quite well. Now hopefully we captured something in our Kevlar and we'll be able to see what happened to the slug.
Big melon, what we call a BFM. The round, I guess, hit just a little bit left of the nose. I found first this little shard. The anonymous viewer thought that if this hit, you know, like soft tissue, that it would peel back like a hollow point. So,
wait, where's the copper part? We're missing the copper part. There's the brass.
I found the brass. And there's a little black, what's that little black plug in the back?
Yeah, the steel
core. So we have those 3. We're still missing a little copper tube, probably?
Yeah, there's the little copper parts. We'll look for those.
So we were cleaning off the watermelon off the table. Jeff noticed this shard o' copper.
You got like a tool, a multi-tool to pull that out with?
Which tool are you talking about, Jeff? Of course I did. We thought we'd lost all the copper shards, but we found this one.
Golly. I don't know how you'd lose that. That's a massive piece of copper.
That would hurt.
That's from the watermelon.
Yeah. Still got watermelon on it. That's what we call a BFC right there. Watermelon and a watermelon seed.
Yeah.
It's like a homicide investigation, Jeff.
I'm going to save that and see if I can reconstruct it.
Sure. Or stamp it into one of those souvenir pennies.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go, on the fronty face. Wow, broke your brick in two, so.
Oh, lots of energy there.
Wow.
Greg made a tiny adjustment to his aim and is now right on target. The slug is now spinning at over 30,000 RPM. We have excellent stability, and all it took was just getting that powder load right. Now I loaded these things hot, hoping these things would penetrate the AR-500 plate, and that was my downfall. I just screwed up.
What happened there?
Well, Jeff, one of these undergassed rounds seems to have finally made it accurate and hit nose first.
So, right on the face there.
Right on the face. You can see its little steel penetrator core actually came pooping out the back because it did not make it out this side. There's just the slightest hint of a
we tried
bulge
everything we could to get it to go through that plate.
Here's what's cool though. Some of that deformed metal case that it's in, trying to make it out through that splatter coating right there.
Okay.
Look at that.
Just curled it around there. Maybe we can cut away and see what it looks like.
Sure we can. So as I'm cutting and peeling away this rubber splatter coating, not spall coating, check this out. Look at that big old thing.
Wow. Look at that.
It's like a little bird.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the best recovery yet.
Yeah, you've got made a decent little divot down in here.
Okay.
but did not in any way make it through.
That's really interesting.
Splattered the brass.
The fact it didn't bounce back at us or anything, it just stayed in the...
Once again, we don't have the copper. We lost the copper on the watermelon shot.
Oh, you're right.
We don't have
It's
copper.
got to be underneath the... Yeah, where's the copper going?
Look at that little... It's going back to the U.S. Treasury where it's being made into pennies.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone needs pennies, Jeff. Look at that. It's like a little aluminum bird. I'm going to put it on a chain and make it into a necklace.
Yeah, nose ring.
Man, that is cool.
Okay, any bets on whether the block will stay on the table?
I'm betting the block stays on the table, but the vest goes flying.
We'll see. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Wow.
Wow. Block.
Block is on the ground.
Wow.
All right, let's look closely at the high speed of the gel block shot. Here it comes, and boom, it was like a hydrogen bomb blew up inside that gel block. The slug completely fragmented, sending pieces of aluminum, copper, brass. The penetrator continued on, as well as the base of the slug, all the way through the block. But what a tremendous energy dump. That's just absolutely impressive.
What happened? That was tremendous.
So we hit pretty much in the dead center of the block. The round penetrated, as you can see, and then we believe it's the two aluminum wings. The bottom piece we can't find. Top little aluminum pedal came off, exited up here. You can see in the high-speed camera really slow. I found it right there on the table. It made a tremendous little wound track there.
Yeah.
So did the bottom piece. Look at that.
Yeah, it opened up like...
The core, as it was designed to do, made it all the way through the block, exiting over here. I found these two pieces in the vest. This is the brass surrounding the steel.
Where's
core.
the copper?
Jeff, we live in Central California where copper thieves are abundant, so I think the copper's already been stolen by tweakers and recycled.
The high-speed video might be able to reveal the tweakers sneaking in there and stealing it.
Because somehow we're missing copper in almost all these shots except for that watermelon shot.
There's one.
Copper pedal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is, finally.
Well, yeah, that's half of it. So, excellent expansion as the anonymous donor, as he predicted, in soft tissue, those petals break away and make almost like a, I don't know, fragmenting round. But it's copper core plunged right on through, captured.
Looks
by
like a big arrow.
Yeah.
That's
or a
crazy.
shotgun slug.
Just two. Just shows you the expertise in making these things, the
Especially
precision.
from the Welsh, Jeff.
The Welsh don't mess around.
Never underestimate the Welsh.
No.
They make grape jelly and shotgun slugs very well. Well, this was an interesting test because we started out with like 6 failures.
It was so depressing. It's
We did
like
a little tabletop surgery, reduced the rounds, and now we've had some pretty good luck. So, anonymous donor from Wales, we congratulate you. We finally figured out the right formula, which is basically like take some of the powder and dump it out. It's very, very scientific.
yeah.
So we appreciate you guys stopping by. We hope you guys liked it as much as we did. We were bummed at first.
Oh, I was very depressed. It's
Jeff
like,
was
man,
about
that guy
ready to
spent
drive.
so much time making these things and
Jeff
shipped
almost-
it over here.
Jeff almost drove his truck down this slight little embankment into the muddy water down at the bottom.
Yeah, I was just like,
In his attempt to end it all.
yeah, we were gonna, like, the last 4, we're gonna like, oh, we're gonna film these on another day, and it's like, wait a minute, maybe I can do some field surgery here.
Yeah, he transitioned them right here on the tabletop. He turned them from men round into women rounds.
Jeez.
All right. Anyway, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you liked it, found it interesting. Give it a thumbs up down here if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your mouth shut. Who asked you? And until the next video, we'll see you guys later.